The first cash grab of the season was absolutely crazy. Cold incented one, and it was thanks to this awesome last game. We're going to check it out and make sure you guys watch the end game because it is absolutely absurd what this team does. All right, so we're going to watch this last game. They're 14 elim, second place, absolutely popping off. I mean, just look at the elim feed right here from Cold. Scented does the same thing. These two just go bonkers during the end game, and it is so cool to watch. Nonetheless, they are at Sleepy Sound, even though Scented and Cold kind of had a little bit of a run-in with their own POI at the beginning of the tournament. They decided ultimately that's where they're going to continue to land. Have a team up north. You have Fatch and Pam Stew hitting that side. Then you got Pump and Nani down to the south. So not necessarily contested. There are some players in the general vicinity, but fully unconned. All right, so they finished looting, and this is where we are at. They have basically moved when first zone started moving. They got the Chonker Tire, Lambo, and they're making their rotate in. We can see Storm is right on them. So it's about where they want to position in order to get surge tags. The mats looking as good as they could be. Cold obviously could get a little more mats, but if I had to guess, that's going to be brick and wood that they can easily farm. So one thing that I've noticed about cars is you essentially have to decide whether or not you want to rotate with a car, or two, you want to risk going under the map. So you can walk on foot and have that risk of potentially getting knocked on foot, or you can rotate with a car and have the risk of going under the map with a car. So it's something that unfortunately you do have to weigh as a player. And we see these guys are going to decide to position first zone surge is on this mountain. They're looking at players going for surge. And really, this season's kind of weird with surge. It's a lot of just everyone sitting, looking at their own peaks and just trading surge damage, which, okay, it is what it is. But because of the slower surge, it's not as important to get it right away. You don't need like massive boosts in surge damage, so you can really out heal it if you have enough heals. And we see Cold doing the normal sitting at 150 so he can burn the minis instead of the bigs, because you got 6 minis, you only got 3 bigs. And Scented is down below just refarming everything, making sure these guys mats are as good as possible. And it's Cold's job to make sure he's getting all the tags, which is really important. So we're going to continue to move through. This is the surge damage phase. Just a lot of tag trading back and forth, and they get a crack on this player and some good tags, so they decide to push this. And actually, they're not pushing this. They're deciding to move into a different position here, which is really interesting to me. They don't want to be in the position that they were at, so they rotate dead side for the second moving zone. This is going to give them a faster rotation to the second zone position that they want. And they must feel comfortable with the damage that Cold got, because they're going backside, dead side. And knowing how the games normally play out, Scented must know that a lot of the southern side is going to be the congested side. And they're just going to chill. They'll be comfortable with it. Grabbing an elim out of the air. And they're just going to watch for players looking for peaks. Once again, Scented doing the refarm, Cold up above. We do see Surge is going to pop here. They're 197 above, so they are comfortable with where they're at. This will be enough at least for 70 surge. I don't know that it'll be enough for 50, so we'll see how zones pull and what they continue to do. But we see Cold is just an absolute demon right now, and he's really the only one getting surge damage. Scented's pretty much just been refarming the entire time, so interesting to see they're prioritizing a single player getting surge damage, and it being enough too. So third zone pops, and we're getting towards this crazy end game where these guys just pop off and pretty much put themselves in first place during a singular game. Haven't really seen much of this just absolute domination during endgame just yet. We know Cold and Scented are that good, and they've done it in other games in different seasons, just not this season. Obviously, it's the first game of the season, but that endgame is so cool. While we're just watching him get surge damage, but this is what sets you up for getting the surge damage. So we see fourth zone pull. They've gotten a lot of surge damage, so not necessarily going to have to worry about it. And they've pulled fourth zone, which gives them a good chance to pull fifth. And they're in a pretty good spot right here. Just watching, knowing these players on this mountain. So we look at zone. These players on the mountain are going to have to rotate in. So this is going to be where you focus for surge, knowing that these players have to move. You tag them while rotating because pretty much not going to be able to shoot back while you're rotating. Or at least you shouldn't. You should be focusing on your rotate rather than shooting back. At least most times, if you're getting held pretty hard, you got to put damage back. Nonetheless, these guys go all the way down now when 5th zone pulls, knowing that they're probably going to have to rotate. So immediately jump in the car, 5th zone early as heck, build a little bit, get themselves into 5th zone, and on ulti low. Beautiful 5th zone rotate, and also understanding you should rotate very quickly because while everyone's still trying to figure out what's going on, these guys were able to get themselves in zone, and it works out so well. So we're going to switch over to Scented here. But we can see they're not really doing anything. They've done all their work earlier. They don't need to do anything crazy right now. Now we see Zone's going to pull to the south. They have one pad on Scented. I would expect them to use it here. An interesting loadout by Scented. Going for the single keg. Both of them going 3 heals, 2 guns. But that's pretty much why Scented was not the one. And now we're getting in. This is when the chaos starts. They're right together. See? Box, bop. Looking to grab the ramp. This player escapes. Nonetheless, it's okay. Got some more damage. And then here's where the keg's important. And we see during endgame, you can't get a full keg heal. So you're going to have to pop one of those bigs. That's exactly what Scented does. We got the flops. We got splashes. So these guys are ready to play heal off if necessary. And again, just finding players in this mid game. Nice little elim there by Scented. Could have potentially caused some issues because it did look like he was just out in the open, but not too much of an issue. And they're playing this mid ground, almost low level, knowing that there's some elevation changes here. So here's where it's about to go crazy. These guys are about to go nuts right now. And one of the most important things is being front side in zone. We see these guys being able to do it right now. Looking for the drop down. Doesn't happen. But dropping one player in, that's key. You only drop one in too, so then it's a 2v1. You'll win that 90% of the time. The other player actually does get some shots in. Cold is going to get that elim, but not exactly what you wanted. You were expecting that to be clean, but because the floor was open, that second player was able to deal some damage. Now, once again, getting to front side, finding clean layers, and time to heal up. But still in pretty good 100 overall materials. We're switching them over to Scented. We have all the whites there on Cold, so we can make plays in Storm. And Scented leads the tarp. The cool thing is the second player can do a lot of tactical sprinting to catch up. So when you used to be really far behind in tarps and have issues catching up, it's not as much of an issue now. But you can't really build fully and run. So these guys hop down ultimate low, create this kill zone that we see from Scented. Little box and bop action, holding cone, boom. Little teamwork there. Scented 0 pinger. He holds the cone. Cold breaks it. These guys able to get a nice little elim. That's huge for them. And then now they're on the low ground where they are their most dangerous. Once these guys start to claim low, that is when it becomes dangerous for players. And we see them just get front side. They hold a really good position here. And there's another team on the opposite side of low ground. So they're going to wind up fighting for that position. See these players here. Beautiful play. Get the initial damage off on this player. Scented then goes for the box. Cuts this team in 2. This is a 2v1. Finished him. Cold's going to then go for the second elim while Scented heals up. But nonetheless, just a nice, clean play by those two. Well executed. And that's the elims that you need in endgame because you don't have enough to survive as 150 mats on both people in this meta, especially in duos. So now they've claimed all this low ground space. 9th zone begins to move. And still just going crazy. Nani, this isn't even like a nice play by anybody. He just accidentally walks into the box here. And the cool thing that I've now started to see is Cold has taken over at different times, and this is not necessarily something you'd see as often, but you can tell he's now really comfortable in endgame. Look at this play that he makes to go cut off this team below them, get shots on, and then now trade back. Sented's going to take the lead, and Cold's going to heal up. It's just beautiful team play execution. Another drop. Scented gets the cone in while Cold drops them in. These players are trying to get out of the box, and it's too late. A little cleanup there. 11 elims already, and they're still going. This is just absolute chaos, but like organized chaos by these two. And there's so many mats on Scented. He could do whatever he wants. Now, quick recognition by Scented that we're going to go up elevation. He already starts making his way up elevation, but they're getting pressured from both sides, so that takes a lot of material from them. It's not exactly what you want to see, but it happens. And because they took a lot of damage, they had to go get some more materials. They had to go pop some bigs and weren't able to get it. Now it's a final 2v2. See the height team spraying down. This is a tough position to be in. You have two healthy players up above. We'll turn this on. It's Kanata and Agers too. They're not super healthy. Cold's going for a play on the backside. These guys are keen to it. Cold's not really going to be able to make too much happen there. Does get some damage on Agers. Kanata, though, going to finish up Cold, and Scented trying to give himself some time and space to heal. Once those shots come through, there's really nothing you could do when you're facing a 2v1 against one of these good teams. But Scented tries his best. It's a final 1v1. Kanata, Scented. Here we go. Chop down. Miss shot. Boom. Kanata wins that. They could have easily won, actually, which is crazy. Now, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something, because I definitely did. That was so much fun to watch. If you did enjoy this video, YouTube says you should like one of these. So go ahead, watch those, and I'll see you next time. Peace.